Hello, we are going to talk about Baba Vanga, who has predicted some amazing things. She's been likened to Nostradamus. She's had some pretty accurate predictions in the past. Now, I'm talking a lot about predictions because we're going to talk about, are they in stone? How can somebody have some right and some wrong? And what is our role in all of it? And what are her predictions coming into the future? Let's talk about 2023. 5 predictions she had. We're going to discuss Baba Vanga's predictions right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. If you're not familiar with me, my whole platform is based on breakthrough fear. And I supply tools to manifest anything, because once you break through fear, you can change anything, which brings us to today's discussion. Baba Vanga was born in North Macedonia. She was born in 1911 and died in 1996 at the age of 85. At a very young age, she got caught in a tornado. A little bizarre, huh? But she lost her eyesight. Now, we've seen these near-death experience stories before where people go to the other side. Their bodies appear to be dead, yet they return, usually under miraculous circumstances. Not so much. You are unlimited. But what happens is when they go to the other side, they have amazing experiences of the power that they wield, and they have insight and knowledge of really what we are, and that is massive energy, unconditional love, and that everything we do here is part of a play and choices. They come back more powerful, and most of them have some kind of abilities when they come back. I believe that was the case for Baba Vanga. Well, she started to see the future and started to share some of this information. She predicted things like ISIS attacks, Princess Diana's death, also the start and finish of World War II. Well, what does this mean? 80% of her predictions came true, but there's the 20% that didn't. She has predictions for 2023 that I will share with you, but there's something really good about these predictions that we're going to talk about. You ready for this? The number 1, biological weapons will be used as experiments on people. Hundreds of thousands of people will die. Maybe she didn't get her dates right. A solar tsunami is going to devastate the planet. Okay, that's a possibility. I'm predicting it will not happen. Next one, 5D is where the Earth will transition into. It's interesting that she said 5D. What does that mean? Well, she died in 1996 before we really started talking about 5D and raising our frequency, and how we do go into different dimensions based on our frequency and what we experience with our own realities, which means you don't have to be in 5D. You could stay in 3D and be miserable and sick and whatever else you want to believe. But there are so many now going into higher dimensions. Simply by raising their frequency, they now experience a completely different existence. And this is the key to these predictions. She says that aliens will invade. Only 10,000 on the entire planet will survive. Okay. The next one, a nuclear plant explosion. It's nothing new, possibility, right? Reproduction will only take place in labs. No one will be allowed to have children. It will be completely controlled by higher ups, whether that's a government or whatever, and they will select who and what is born. Well, if there's only 10,000 people existing, that doesn't make sense. Unless that huge wipeout created us to be toxic, and so having children may not make sense. Maybe it's not even possible. I'll let you decide. Now, I want you to know that the Earth doesn't end until 5079, according to her. Now, here's the beauty of these predictions. They're so drastically out there that I believe none of them are going to come true. We have experienced certain stages, levels of some of these things already. Because we have gone into a higher frequency, because we are going into a great awakening, we call it a great awakening, the new earth, we are transitioning our way of life and how we behave and exist here because we made individual choices and as a collective, changing the future. I can't say this enough. Now, when I teach Breakthrough Fear, and you can start doing this today, when you go into this low vibration as a human, you still have the powers of your unlimited one energy self of source. You never lose it. All right? This is the illusion that makes you believe that. But awakening is waking up to the fact that it never goes away. Therefore, everything is choice, and nothing that anybody predicts, I'm going to say it over and over again, how many videos have I said this in? No one can predict the future. They can only see what exists at the moment, which will be the future at that moment, but they cannot predict without a doubt that it will happen because we can change it at any moment. Now, how do we avoid these disasters? By going in a high frequency alone, you will not live, exist in a reality where these things take place. Somewhere, this is the tricky part, somewhere there's a reality that she predicted that absolutely is happening, already has, past, present, future, one thing. It's already a probability. She locked into that probability at that moment. Now, a few years later, if she survived to live to 100, she may have changed those predictions completely. I want you to know that anything that you lock into that's negative fuels it. I can't say this enough. Now, I did a video on conspiracy, but I want to share with you something about that. The video wasn't meant to tell you what is and isn't a conspiracy because people are still arguing that. The whole point is to tell you that your focus on these things is really useless energy because when you focus on change and positive things that you can do on this planet to create an amazing new future, then you contribute to and create it. When you focus on conspiracies, whether they're true or not, what are you really creating at that moment? Fear. Fear. And fear, that's why people watch it in the first place. They're addicted to fear and they want to argue about it. That is the lowest vibration of ego. So it's not whether you believe about chemtrails or whether the sun is going to explode or we're going to have a solar flare. It's irrelevant because you're changing everything right now. So when we hear these things, as Nostradamus said, and Baba Vanga, they are warnings to us as to what exists right now according to where we are frequency-wise. That is all it is. It's a spiritual temperature being taken. Now, she's been gone for quite some time now, all right? What are we going to do now? We've had plenty of time to shift, and we have. I believe that none of these things are going to come to pass. And we might see some things that are a little bit of it going on. Maybe we'll have a disruption of a solar flare, but not a solar tsunami. 5D alien invasion, 10,000 people surviving. Really? 2023? Not going to happen, all right? But you can believe what you want. So my question is, if you are the all-powerful energy that flows through everything and controls and creates all things, including your human existence, your future, your own reality, yes, your own personal reality, not somebody else's. That's a collective that we participate in. If you are in control of that, what are you going to do about the future? What are you going to choose? You get to choose it. So when you hear these things, you can ask yourself, am I on that frequency? Or do I believe that I'm in another probability where we go into the Great Awakening and we create amazing communities? Now, she did say some things from here in the year 5075, whatever it is, beyond. And none of it was good. Again, warnings, and all of these people who will tell you our future will say, unless they're, just trying to get a lot of views on YouTube, will tell you that it is changeable. Now, I talked about the Bible codes. Greg Braden, love him. He brings science and spirituality together. Again, don't have to believe what he says, but there is a code in the Bible through using some computerized formulas that give messages about future events. In fact, every single person, including you, your name is in there. They will find it. Everyone, every person. And events, future events, all of it is there. But there's one sentence that I want you to know. It says, will you change it? Will you change it? That's consistent. Are you getting this? Do you want to believe that we're going to hell in a handbasket? Then you will live that future. And then when you go over into the great, beautiful, amazing quantum field of all energy that's all expansive, you realize you had a choice the whole time, and that all those beliefs were just limitations that you chose, that nobody imposed on you. All limitations are chosen. Now, I teach people how to go past that. I have programs that have 5 stars, for years have run for 5 stars. And if you want to come over, I have a advanced manifesting course I just launched called Activate Your Magic. I'm teaching you that you are in control and that you can actually start to get results right now in your own personal life. You don't have to struggle or suffer. Struggle and suffering is a choice. It's something that we get to experience here on planet Earth. All journeys and adventures, everything you do is an adventure into something else that you want to experience. And you're doing it right now. You have full control. Would you love to learn how to control it? And would you most of all love to learn what comes from those challenges, why they happen, and what you can do with it that's so powerful that will make perfect sense? See, we try to avoid these challenges. We say there's nothing good from them. And I'm going to tell you right now, COVID changed our world. And no one was a victim. People chose to exit at that time because nobody dies. And there are people that came here that said, yes, I will go out during a cataclysmic event so that we can transition the planet into another level. And without a big change, something that's going to rock the whole globe, that won't happen. I volunteer, and then so people agree to exit at that moment. Nobody got punished, nor was it a surprise for any of them. Once they went to the other side, they said, whew, actually glad to get out of there when I did, because look at all of the pain that we're going through to improve the planet. And it is happening. It's all good. It's really, really good. So when you see struggle and suffering, it is the realization from so many low vibration choices that are realizing that there's another way. And the more of us show the other way and stop looking at the fear and the whatever and believing it and going into I'm creating it, then we go into what I called expansion. Expansion is a high frequency. It's art, writing, singing, dancing. You don't have to be Hemingway to write a book or Fred Astaire to dance in your living room. Laughter is a high frequency. It's healing. Go into that space. And when you hear these things, I want you to know, not in my world. It's not. And so, did she see at that moment? Yeah, she's been gone quite a while. And so what are you going to choose today? So you guys know that if you go down in the description, you will get an offer to go into 4 proven steps to manifest anything. You can also come, that's for free. You can also come into my training. I don't pick everybody to do that. You can come into my training, Breakthrough Fear. And you can also, if you think you're advanced, go into advanced manifesting. Activate Your Magic does deal with some of the fear, but if we don't break through it, we stay in the low vibration that believes all that stuff and feels powerless against it. I want you to know that you're all powerful, I give you tools to manifest anything, including things up here to change how you earn, what you do, to go into passion. You should love what you do for a living. You should feel good about it. Earning money is not evil. Everything in your life could be rocking, and when challenges come, you'll see the purpose and the opportunity in all of it. I promise you that exists. That's a probability, and if you don't believe it, well, then you don't know what you are. And I hope that you get into that space, that awakened space where you realize, oh, I can change anything. And once I master it, I don't have to go through those challenges ever again. I won't look at them as something wrong. I'll look at them as a master class for me, something to experience and triumph over. Are you ready to go there? Because you are strong, perfect, whole, beautiful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I think I messed that up. Oh, coffee's really good today. Do you like my hat? I went shopping last night with my girlfriends. I love you. You're loved unconditionally. You are not alone. You're never alone. Everything's here. All intelligence exists through everything. It's just a different vibration, appearing as a tree or a table or a human being or a Landria. It's one energy. You're that energy. We share it. We all have access to it. We are it. Go create. You ready? Come on over and join me. I'll take you through into another dimension, but you get to choose it. Namaste.